This is not a clickbait, this is not a hyperbole. Today I'm going to show you how to color correct your S-Log 3 footages as badly exposed as the one you are looking at right now in under 3 seconds. So log profiles are manufactured by camera companies to record the raw linear data that is coming straight from the sensor onto a logarithmic curve, so everything fits into a limited dynamic range and ideally you don't lose any information. So in a perfect world, you would expose perfectly and then slap on the LUTs in the color grading process and you would end up with this beautiful, well-balanced Rec. 709 footage as the starting point for your creative color grading process. However, this is not a perfect world. We often end up with log footages that is not technically perfectly exposed, either due to user error or some intentional purposes like suppressing the noise. So you intentionally overexpose in that case. And this can cause a lot of frustration for a lot of people in post because now you can't just slap on a LUT and expect to get a perfectly balanced footage. You have to tweak the exposure prior to you utilizing the LUTs. This is not a problem at all if you're shooting in RAW, because in post you'll find this simple slider to adjust exposure as if you're adjusting in camera. So you can just slap on the LUT and tweak the exposure until the footage looks right to your eyes. The reason for this difference is because in RAW, everything is linear. So for example, if you want to cut this exposure by half, you're cutting everything by half, and that is exactly how exposure works. So you can just adjust the exposure to mathematical perfection with a simple slide. However, in log, everything is already baked into this logarithmic curve and is non-linear. And this is exactly where my method comes into play. Let me just show you what it is and then explain to you how it works. Let me show you what I mean by color correcting in under 3 seconds. So this is the secret sauce here. You implement this power grade, and then you can see that this footage is already converted into Rec. 709. However, it is slightly overexposed. It doesn't look quite right. So I go into this middle node and start pulling this down. And you can see that the exposure is changing, and it's changing the same way as if you adjust in camera. I have tested this many times. And so now when I pull it down here, it looks right to my eyes. And this is what I mean by mathematical precision. If I perfectly exposed this footage in the first place and then applied the official LUTs, it would have looked exactly the same. Just as a reference, this is the exposure of the opening scene. Obviously, you should never expose your footage. A cloud just came in. And this is the correct exposure exposed for my face. As you can see, there's barely any discernible difference. Let's try a different clip. Just click this. And then it's still slightly overexposed to my eyes, so I can just pull it down. Now it looks right. And well, this is a clip that I shot for an Intel campaign. And as you can see, the highlight area is just a tiny bit overexposed. Just pull it down. Now it looks natural. Now, of course, if you want to expose for the face, then you can always just, increase the exposure. You can even increase this way to make it overexpose a lot more. And so for this click, this is underexposed. So you can just adjust this curve this way. Now it looks better. But obviously, it's always better to just slightly overexpose your footage. As in this clip, when I apply it, well, it already looks good. Because when I expose this footage, I set the zebra to 61 and then adjusted the exposure until I just started to see some zebra patterns on the skin. And that's when you achieve the perfect exposure. So this is it. It only took like 3 mouse clicks, right? So for example, this is the starting point. Click 1, click 2, click 3. That's it. So this method is going to work for any severely overexposed footage as long as nothing is clipping. That includes the individual RGB channels. Obviously, I'm going to link this power grade down in the description below. However, I do recommend that you finish watching this video so you can understand how exactly does this method work. And I do apologize for the noise. Apparently, the studio next door is entertaining some guests today, so really sorry for that. All right, so now if you look at this node structure, the first one is blank. So it's always a good idea to leave a blank node in the first one so you can come back to adjust the white balance and that sort of issues. In this case, as you might know, A7S3 SLOG3 footages does have this green tint on the skin tone, which looks really bad. I find the easiest way to correct that problem is to apply a rotation on the hue here on the first node. So this is the 50 is default. So you just put in 50.5. Just a little bit goes a long way. Now you can see that the skin tone, it looks normal to me. And then the second node, this is where the magic begins. I applied a simple color space transform. I transformed the footage from S-Log3 to linear. And then in the third node, I started messing with the exposure. And then in the fourth node, I mapped the linear data back into S-Log3. So after this node, you have already adjusted the exposure for your S-Log3 footage. From this point on, you can just seamlessly utilize your currently established color grading process. If you have your favorite LUT or whatever, you can just use it after this node. In this case, I used the official S-Log3 LUTs. I just used it in color space transform, which is the same thing. So this is what it is. However, when I'm doing the real work, I don't use the official LUT for the correction. I do have a favorite LUT, which is Phantom Lut. I highly recommend that LUT. It is worth every penny of the asking price. Bear in mind that this Phantom Lut is based on the green tint on the skin, so you don't really need to correct it in the first place. And obviously, if you have any white balancing issues, you can adjust it in the first node, but I'm just not going to do it today because this video is more about the exposure. So my favorite thing about this method is not only is it fast, it's also highly scalable. Because if you're manually grading your log footage, you're only doing that for that specific clip. But in this method, I'm color correcting based on a unified standard. So I can just copy and paste this into all the clips and just adjust the exposure within seconds. You can even copy and paste your entire color grade as long as it doesn't contain any very specific local adjustment. This is also why I'm not a big fan of entirely manually grading your log footage. Not only would it introduce some unforeseeable technical problems that I'm just not going to get into today, it is also not scalable because you are always grading based on that very specific clip. And if you move on to the next clip that is shot in different lighting conditions, you can't just copy and paste. You have to start from scratch again. This is why a lot of people think grading log is not necessarily difficult, but very time consuming. But in this method, you can see everything is very fast and everything is standardized. This is why I shoot everything in log, because with this method, I can achieve a great flexibility when it comes to exposure, and I can achieve the desired color correction or color grading within seconds. Whereas if I shoot in something like acetone, this method is simply not going to work. And by the way, you can use this method for any log profile as long as you can find it in the color space transform. So yeah, you have quite a lot of options there. All right, yeah, that's the end of this video. Obviously, if you have any questions, please ask me in the comment section. I'll do my best to answer it. And also, if you haven't noticed, this is a very new channel. This is only the second video of this channel, so I will have more photography and videography related content coming up. My name is Ricky Isaac. I'm a journalist, filmmaker, and also a YouTuber. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.